Robert,
Andrew,
Stephen,
Andrew.
do you guys fancy spending a quiet Christmas inside number nine?
Yeah. Go
let's
on.
do it.
Great. We are joined by a special guest for a special day special, Robert Fenech. Welcome to A Quiet Night Inside Number Nine. It is so lovely to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, so you may well know Robert from uh, such developments as Ninedle and the World Cup. Was it the World Cup of Inside Number Nine? How did you
It
describe
was
that?
it was hashtag Inside Number Nine World Cup. I think
There you go, the other way
I
around.
need I need to check that hashtag, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Inside No Nine World Cup. Yeah,
Yeah, which was very insightful watching. Yeah, the polling of people's favorite episodes over a period of time and thinking, oh no, is that really
it was
right?
quite surprising. In a few places, some of the sort of upsets or what I thought were upsets because they were my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
It was quite a surprising turnout. But I think the overall winner, Bernie Clifton, was absolutely the right thing to crown champion. It was always going to be out of that and 12 Days of Christine, and I
Hmm.
purposefully, as much as I randomized it, I did sort of purposely put them both on the same side as the
Oh, did you? Yeah.
of the draw because I didn't want a Bernie Clifton versus 12 Days of Christine final. So
Yeah.
I wanted to give everyone a chance, and it was good fun. It was good fun. It took up a lot of my time though.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Imagine just sat there watching your beloved favorite episodes disappear off as thousands of people flock to tell you you're wrong. There's
Pretty
another one.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
knocked
absolutely.
what knocked out 12 Days of Christine?
Bernie Clifton. Yeah, it
Oh, so
was
that was the
in
final.
the
Oh, it wasn't the final.
semi-final.
Yeah.
No, the final was Bernie Clifton versus Cold Comfort. And to be honest, I mean, I think Bernie Clifton got something like 72% of the vote. So it absolutely walked it all the way to the final.
Well, it surprises me Cold Comfort made it to the final. That's a great episode, but
It is
yeah.
a great episode. I think what I got out of that was not just on the votes, but on the replies, just how much people enjoyed that episode, the format of it, the fact that you had the multi-camera thing going on and it was really layered. You got you got so much every time you watched it. If you watched it multiple times, you were watching a different screen, and you could really kind of start to pick out all of these little kind of hidden moments that you hadn't seen before, which I hadn't noticed, and I ended up going back and rewatching it after the final and thinking, yeah, wow, you really get a lot more out of this if you just watch like the corner screen rather than the
Mm,
main focal point.
that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. How many people were participating in the
Oh, it's a
voting?
good question. I think the final got about 700 votes, but overall, I think like some of them were like up to 1,000 votes, um, and then lots and lots of replies as well, and lots of people discussing why the other person was wrong.
Yeah, I can imagine there was some quite strong opinions floating around. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, people get quite territorial, and I think what I found was kind of the Twitter hive mind. Um, are they're like us, right? They're people that are very into the show. They're not just your casual viewer. So your casual viewer, 12 Days of Christine is the one that they talk about, and I think Reese kind of picked up on that in the finale in plodding on. We only did it twice. They were only dead
Mm.
twice. It was Christine and it was Bernie Clifton, and they're the two I think that always get kind of very very talked about. Whereas the people that are into Inside Number Nine, it's almost like they don't want the biggest episodes or the best known episodes to be their favorite. They have to be a
Mhm.
bit more, a bit more unique. It's like a Queen fan saying that Bohemian Rhapsody is their favorite song. They'd get, booted out
There's these
of
hipster inside number nine fans that
Yeah.
want the deep cuts.
Exactly. Yeah, they want 3x3. That's my favorite. It was so unique.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that kind of thing, like for me personally, I have different favorites in terms of the filters that I'm putting on them. Because there are obviously, there's the favorite sort of set piece ones, and I think 3x3 and what they did with Hold On Tight in terms of the setup around that makes it one of my favorite moments. And being sort of sat there watching this Lee Mack game show and falling for it, it's like, no, I really appreciate that. But as far as it as an episode goes, it's it's not a favorite episode, but
What I
yes.
really liked about that was my second opportunity to fall for something live, because I didn't get to do that with Deadline first time round. That had already been and gone, and I already knew what the deal was there. But this time, I got to be part of the collective experience of what the hell's going on here.
Deadline absolutely got me to the point that I actually turned it off because I thought that I was having a problem.
Did you?
Yeah,
you were one of them.
And I was one of them that was like, well, I'm not going to just watch, because I just watched A Quiet Night In, like half an hour before, and I was like, as much as I love it, I don't need to watch it again. So I switched it off, and it was only then that I got a text from my mate being like, "Oh, this is so clever," and I was like, "What?"
You've seen it quite in. It's not
Yeah.
that.
and then kind of like switch back, and then I had to go back to iPlayer to rewind it to the start and go through the whole sort of process again of it, messing up, to really get on board with it. So I was kind of about half an hour behind in the end. But yeah, it really got me.
Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah. I wish I could say that. But I wasn't watching it at the
I
time.
can't remember what was the percentage of people that switched off. Was it around? Was it high 20s share they lost?
Something like that. Yeah. Quite a few people sort of flicked over.
Yeah, loads, Rob. Loads of them did.
Yeah, loads of you. Yeah. And I mean, it could be happening again this evening because we've chosen. I mean, so we always record. Well, we tend to record on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
And yes, they are showing the documentary this evening in about 45 minutes' time. And we were just saying before we started recording that there is a bit of chatter, a bit of expectation. Is this going to be the final twist? Is there going to be some kind of proper episode? And yeah,
I can't see it, but
I can't see it.
I know there's been a lot of sort of chat on Reddit and places like that of there's definitely going to be something. They always do a twist. They always do something clever. So you never know. You never know. But I'm glad they haven't closed the door to anything in the future. I know it's kind of ended for now, but from what they've said is they haven't closed the door on it completely, and I do believe we'll get at least one special at some point in the future.
Well, I think I just appreciate it when the door, because it's like there's another Gavin and Stacey Christmas special this year, which is being like talked about as the final ever episode. And it's like, well, that was the same with the previous episode. And it's like it happens with bands as well, doesn't it? The final ever tour, and then 2 years later, oh, they're doing the final ever tour again.
Oh, they've run out of money again.
Yeah, but actually, if you just leave the door ajar, it doesn't mean you've got the plans, but yeah, just let it be what it is. Like,
so
yeah,
we've got tickets for Stage Fright, which is 2 months today.
I was going to ask you what date.
Yeah, which I keep forgetting about. I was like, I'll go to the theatre.
What's the date?
22nd of February, I think.
22nd of February. Okay.
Yeah, I need to get my tickets. I sort of didn't get them on the first wave.
Well, that's because the first wave was released during the first episode of the last series, I think, which is a really strange decision. What do you prefer, guys? New series or queuing online for tickets?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was because they were on the One Show, weren't they, at the time? Yeah. Right. Just adding this to my calendar.
Good.
This is the time to do it. Good. Right. Lovely. And Rob, I want to talk about Ninedle because that's been a delight.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you
it's
for making that.
well, no, you're very welcome. It's obviously I'm a web developer and programmer by trade, so I I just came up with the idea. Originally, before it became Ninedle, it was actually football badges. So it was, guess the team from the football badge. And then I kind of run out of steam with it a little bit. Um, and it was quite difficult for people to get because, getting an obscure Spanish third division side's badge was proving very tough.
Oh, you went niche.
So yeah, and that had 16 squares on it, and I thought, oh, I could simplify this into 9, and do it around my favorite show, and that's what happened. And yeah, it kind of went from nothing, and then it sort of really picked up quite quickly. And I think we get about a thousand players every day,
Still
which
now.
is yeah, even still now. I checked the analytics just before I joined the call actually, and yeah, we still get about 1,000 every day. Sometimes it dips under, sometimes it's a little higher. We got something like 10,000 the day that Reese played it on Twitter and shared his results.
Mm.
Um, and it was for oh, the name of the episode has completely escaped me, which has shown me up as a real fake fan, hasn't it? Um, it's the one in the caravan park with the guy from Line of Duty. Hurry up and wait. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that, and it was just the very corner of the jacket, and obviously Reese got it and won, and I couldn't believe it because I will occasionally just kind of click on the hashtag and just see everyone's results and see what people have got it in, and then I was just scrolling down, and all of a sudden I sort of double took at his name and his user handle, couldn't quite believe it, so I replied and said, yeah, can't believe that you play this game. Is it something you play often? And he replied in line in a comment and said, oh, whenever I see it, I will play it, but obviously I find it quite easy. And there was a little bit of back and forward, and then he played it again about a month later, or he posted again about a month later. And then I sort of commented on that, and then he sent me a private message and said, like, thank you so much for creating this game, it's wonderful, I play it most days, and it's so nice to see so many other people playing it, and it's such a great use of tech and all of that. I was like,
Oh, that's
feel a bit
lovely.
feel a bit starstruck.
Yeah. Oh, so in private, he's like really nice to people.
Yeah.
But online, just glib. Just, oh,
Yeah,
great, you happen
yes,
when I see it. No, I play this every day.
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
he,
it's great. And it is such a I think why it works so well is because it's so simple and it does test you. And most, well, sometimes
yeah,
it tests you.
uh,
Sometimes it doesn't test you at all. But like I did today's this morning, and that was a challenge. But it was
yes,
What's the
yeah.
episode
Well,
down as?
it's
So I'm
three
on
by
the.
three.
Well, I've gone for
Oh
three.
no,
Oh,
I'm
has it got
thinking of yesterday's.
spaces?
Actually, that was a challenge. Yesterday's,
Oh,
yeah,
yesterday's, yeah. I
Lancashire
can't actually
yesterday.
remember what yesterday's was now.
It was Lancashire with
Ah, yes, yeah. You just had the corner of the bag she was zipping up.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
like,
that was
oh, of
tricky.
course. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
no,
like the
the
hold on
the
tight. That's 3 by 3. Yeah,
yes, it is 3 by 3. So I thought
Yes.
that was quite fun to do.
3 by 3. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, there's a slight programming issue there in the fact that maybe you should be able to type in 3x3 and it still knows what you're talking about, but it takes it as per the IMDb um,
Mm.
title completely. Um, I've been thinking of sort of improving it a bit so that everyone gets the same progression, because at the moment everyone gets the same starting square, but then it's completely random as to
Okay.
what's revealed next. So you could
Right.
get,
Okay.
a really obvious second square, whereas someone else might not. And I've
Mhm.
been thinking of tweaking it in the new year into exactly the same progression for everyone, so it's fair, and also going in and redacting any of the text using, some AI, just taking out any text, because occasionally it will just come up and it will
It just
literally
tells
have
you
the
what the
the
title is.
name like at the bottom, and you think, yeah, that's quite easy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Does it cost
Yeah.
you much to host that? Or
No, because I run a web design agency, I just host it on one of my many dev servers that already exist. So thank you, clients, for paying for that. Yeah, and it's never been something that as I say, despite the users, that I've ever thought about monetizing, because I think as soon as you do that, um, you just lose people, advertising and things like that. I never built it with a view of, oh, this could make me money at some point. But of course, BBC, if you are listening and you're interested in acquiring a fantastic game with 1,000 users a day, then I will have a conversation.
Well, New York Times
New
bought
York Times,
Wordle,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
this could be it.
This niche.
Who
And
knows?
Spotify bought Hurdle, didn't they?
Yeah, and absolutely killed it, which was a shame.
Bizarre. It's really bizarre.
It was a
Just
Yeah, it
really
was like
weird
they
one.
bought it in order to kill
to
it.
kill it.
They just made
Yeah.
it terrible as soon as
You
they.
people are getting free snippets of songs.
Yeah.
Not on our watch.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah, it was that was an odd. It seemed like an odd move, but they obviously had a business reason for doing it, I guess. Someone on Twitter asked me if I could do an Inside Number Nine sort of version of Hurdle, where you just get a line from an episode and you have to get it from the audio clip, and I was like, wow, that's even, I think, even more niche to a point. I
That
guess it
is.
depends on the clip, right? Like, might it could be
Yeah.
easy. It could be.
Maybe you could do one for this episodes of this podcast.
That
When
would
did they?
be
If the snippet is, it's amazing what they do in 30 minutes. It could be anything.
And all of
if it's about a deer doing it in La Couchette, then I think we'd find it.
No, that could be one of about 40 episodes as well.
We
To be
referenced the
honest,
deer a little bit after that, didn't we? Or Chekhov's. No.
check out.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chekhov's anything.
Chekhov's anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great when I came across this podcast. I was laying a patio at my sister-in-law's house, and I was like, I could really do with a new podcast to listen to, and then thought, I wonder if there is an Inside Number Nine podcast. And lo and behold, I think you guys had only just started it. I think there were only about 3 episodes on there at the time.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah.
I sort of ended up going through the first three, and then waiting for the next one.
So you were probably only about 5 weeks out from going, there's no podcast, I might start one myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the exact thought process that I had as well, which was, I wonder if there's an Inside Number Nine podcast. There must be one.
Yeah.
Surely there's one. Come on.
And then Reese and Steve did one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And thankfully that's very different,
Yeah.
obviously, because they know a bit more intimately about the show. But yeah, well, I did find it very strange that there wasn't one at the time. I think that I don't know whether there are more now.
I've not looked, to be honest. I've only got one space in my
Oh, that's
brain
nice to know.
for an Inside Number Nine podcast.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy kind of chatting with with the community on various social media channels. Reddit has quite a good subreddit for Inside Number Nine, and you get loads of wild theories on there that you then look at and go, actually that could be bang on though, couldn't it? And you just get drawn into it. But it's such a clever show. It's so clever how they can fit so much into 30 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I've now and again I'll go and give Reddit a look, but it's that difficult thing of trying to make sure that the podcast doesn't just become like Reddit, us just talking about things we found on Reddit, because I think that would become quite dull quite quickly for anyone who spends any time discussing those things on Reddit. Oh, you're talking about the thing that I posted yesterday. Yep. we're out. That's all we've got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
very, very easy to fall into that trap, I guess.
do you have what's your favorite episode, Rob?
I'm a bit like you, to be honest, in the sense that I've got a few different favorite episodes depending on, I guess, mood. I think objectively it's Bernie Clifton. I am a sucker for he's been dead the whole time twists. And I just thought it was so beautifully done. I was kind of brought up on that kind of variety comedy as well.
Right.
And
Yeah.
my dad loved all of that stuff. So I was brought up watching kind of 70s variety comedy and Morecambe and Wise and people like that. So it really kind of was just a beautifully done piece. And so somehow joyful and melancholic at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, but other than that, I think I'm a massive fan of Mr. King, which doesn't
Hmm.
get as much love. It's just got this real Wicker Man vibe, and he's got this real kind of like proper horror side to it. I think other than that, um, pretty much the whole first series. Tom and Jerry is another one that is just it blows my mind every time I watch it. I'm like, that is just so
That's an early
brilliantly
one,
done.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just so well done. And again, I know, we don't take Reddit threads and turn them into our own, but someone posted a theory up there that Mig was actually his social worker the whole time. And I was like, could that actually work? I was trying to pick holes in it, and I was like, well, we don't know what his mental state was. So
So are we saying that he turns that relationship into something completely different in his own head?
yeah, and
We're
sort of
seeing Mig through Tom's eyes
through Tom's
the
eyes, that
entire
it's just
time.
this,
Yeah.
kind of the vagrant type character who leads him into drink and this kind of pit of despair and everything else. But actually, he's the whole time Mig is what we see at the end, which is wearing his lanyard and
Hmm.
which I can't remember off the top of my head if it's was he so did he get a job as a social worker? Was that the kind of thing or did we not find out? It looked quite kind of
Not
NHSy
sure.
or
Yeah. Yeah. It was that sort of thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure we know
Um,
exactly, but maybe
and
we do.
and and the kind of theory was saying that did he sort of real social worker self start to come through and get through to Tom that actually Jerry was dead, and that's why he had to kill him.
Hmm.
It's
But
I,
I
I
do like
don't I don't
theories. I like
I
that.
don't I don't I don't necessarily buy into it, but it was interesting to see sort of a very quite a unique take on it. I
Mm.
think it's just um, basically it's a great episode, and to be honest, that whole series was just fantastic.
Hmm.
That's what happens when people are allowed to think about what an episode might be about, rather than
Yeah.
Yeah,
being thinking out loud's a bit raw still for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think trusting and that is, you talk about the Reddit threads, like the what happens in thinking out loud sort of prevents people from being able to. Although I'm sure people can theorize regardless, but like it does a good job of shutting down the ability to think or the ability to theorize.
All you
Um,
get to do, I guess, is go and see if there are any bits in there that weren't explained, just shoved down your throat and go, oh, okay, things like the fragments in the scenes and things, you can go looking for those, I guess, because they're
mm,
not mentioned. You can go see if there's any other little clues in there as to what was going on before it came out. But
yeah,
you don't get the joy of a whole Mig was a social worker all along.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah. As I say, I'm not sure I quite buy into it, but it was one of the handful one there that I thought I can't disprove it annoyingly, because we kind of see it all through Tom's mental state, so we're
yeah.
never really sure what is reality and what isn't. But yeah, it was a really
Yeah.
interesting one. I
Look,
also love the harrowing as well.
Mm.
Is
hmm,
it's one of I mean they all make me laugh. But it's set up for that. But it's one I just remember like snorting tea with laughter when Hector walks in with a guitar playing
yeah.
Yeah. Lord
Dance
of the
Dance
Dance.
Review of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people can have their theories involving social workers, and we can't complain about anyone's theory because we've talked about a deer murdering people. So I or seeing a
Oh,
murder or something. Oh yeah, a deer witnessing a murder and then throwing itself in front of a train. That was it, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
I think that was it. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. So anything is valid. Anything goes here.
Yeah, I'm all for a good theory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
love it.
that's the beauty of the show though. I think that I think if you watch it and you've rewatched it a few times, like we have, I think your favorite episode is quite fluid. I don't
Mm,
think there is really ever a fixed best episode.
no.
That is what makes it
No,
so fantastic.
so often I hit one when we're doing a rewatch and go, Christ, that is so good. That was so good. And I'd forgotten quite how good it was. That
Yeah.
happens quite regularly.
Yeah.
I started watching Inside Number Nine on the first day it aired. So because
Oh, really?
I was a
Day
massive
one
League of
fan.
Gentlemen fan. Yeah, I was a massive League of Gentlemen fan back in uni, and then I absolutely loved Psychoville as well, and sort of binge watched that on DVD, um, so many times. And then when I heard they were doing something new, I sort of watched Sardines, and I was like, good. I can't see how they're going to take it on from here. I didn't realize at this point it was kind of going to be an anthology, and then the second
Mm.
episode hit, which was A Quiet Night. I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand like how what's gone on.
What's the link? Yeah.
Then I realized that it was kind of a completely separate thing. I think I watched those two, and then I didn't watch it for about a year. And I was like,
Right.
oh, I'm not sure this is for me. I loved Psychoville so much, and I loved League so much. Um, and then a good friend of mine, Neil, sort of told me, look, you need to go back and watch it. It's phenomenal, you know. And then obviously
Is that the
episode
same
three
guy
is
that messaged you during deadline
yes, it is.
telling you
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get back on? Because I'm
Come
yeah.
on,
noticing a
Rob.
theme here.
Come
Rob,
on,
come
Rob.
on. You've done this before. You've given up on it before. Look what happened then.
Yeah.
And then obviously Tom and Jerry sort of really pulled me into like, oh wow, yeah, this is phenomenal. And then I sort of went back and watched the first two again and was like, wow, yeah, actually I was kind of not giving it the respect it deserves on Quiet Night In, because it was just, I mean, that is just a masterpiece of TV, isn't it?
But that's
Yeah.
really interesting that because I think that represents one of the challenges that they have in terms of promoting the show and getting people to invest their time and understanding and energy into it, because it once you get it, it's like, this is amazing. But to get people to get it is really difficult. Because there's several people that I've, trying to like encourage them to watch it, and they're like, I don't understand. Like, what's the link? And like, maybe we're sort of expecting things to not be anthologies, or like
Yeah,
we're not trained in that sort of TV programming. Or yeah, people aren't. But yeah, once people get it, it's like, this is genius. But that makes it really difficult. And I mean, it's been true of some of the promotional stuff over the past few years where people think, oh, this series is about whichever show is the sort of lead episode in the promo. And whether I think it was like Wuthering Heist. Was Wuthering Heist that? I think that was
It
the
was.
lead show.
That
yeah,
was the lead episode, yep, because that was our first instant reaction one.
It was, yeah. Never again. Yeah, and then that left people very confused. Like, what is Inside Number Nine? Because coming to it for the first time, watching that, and then thinking every episode is like that, and it's like, well, it's not. That's yeah, and it's so difficult to sell because there's no real, what is the consistent hook other than
yeah,
every episode is
Well,
different.
especially as they had come off the back of doing some very long, big narrative things. If you're a fan of Reese and Steve, you're a fan probably of the League and of Psychoville, and so it's a massive departure for people who are already a fan of them. Because I was one of the people, Andy, I think you kind of cajoled into watching it, because I remember
Yeah.
watching League with my dad years ago. He introduced me to League, and actually I didn't see Psychoville. I kind of dropped out after League, and going back to Psychoville after watching Inside Number 9 that's been a weird experience of this 2-series, very big overarching narrative stuff.
Yeah, no, I loved Psychoville. I loved that kind of, as you say, the kind of big overarching narrative that like everything ties together. And some of the characters were just incredible. And obviously they had to, you look at the cast that they also pulled in for that, Daniel Biala and Daisy Haggard as well, who now is just, phenomenal star in her own right. But I didn't have a clue who she was at the time. And it just kind of, Dawn French as well as another one. But they pulled in some incredible people into that. And it was just such a well thought out show. You could tell that they really thought about the entire arc before they even sort of started filming.
There's been no shortage of people who've not only been willing to, but have actively wanted to work with them over the course of Inside Number 9 as well. And I guess that comes off the back of seeing them produce those things. And then when it comes to, we're doing a new thing, and it's a new thing every week, so there's an opportunity for all of you people to be involved if you want. What do you reckon? People were sort of clamoring to go, yeah, I want to work with Reese and Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with them, to be honest?
Quite. Yeah. So as it's Christmas, thought
special day.
A special day.
You never want to date these things.
Don't want to date the episodes, do I? Good point.
By releasing it on December 25th.
But yeah, I thought I'd ask. I had a little chat with GPT, with ChatGPT earlier, to see if it could help come up with a kind of trivia quiz of Inside Number 9.
Is this failed with real what's the word? Confidence. Failing with confidence.
Part of the challenge is working out which questions are completely bullshit because they are not right, and which ones are just difficult. I mean, some of them are easy, but yeah, I got it to do 2 quizzes and give me the answers that it thought were right. So
what are the difference between the 2 quizzes?
I just asked it to do more recent episodes in the second quiz because it was focused quite specifically on. I don't think it got beyond series. The Zanzibar. What was Zanzibar? 4.
Yeah.
I don't think it got beyond series 4. In the
well,
quiz.
at least it acknowledges that it didn't go up to like season 17, like it might be expected to.
It didn't. No. I can see you ready there, Steve.
I am. I've got a pen.
I don't know how this works.
No. Neither do I. I just thought I'd be ready for anything.
But you look like you're ready to.
I'm ready to. I am.
Down. Maybe we can just.
It's like a Pavlovian response to hearing quiz.
Yeah, quiz. Quick,
pen, paper. I need.
So the first round of the first quiz, general knowledge. We've got 3 questions here, multiple choice. That was another thing I asked.
Hang on, are we against each other, or is this a collaborative effort?
No, this is a collaborative effort.
I think we have to be very collaborative.
I think we should be against AI. I think that's what this should be.
Yes. So we've got 3 questions. One of the things I had to clarify with ChatGPT was, could you give some multiple choice options here, because I have no idea what you want from me. So we might be able to get close, but so the first, we'll maybe bounce between the 2 quizzes, but the first round is general knowledge. I don't know how it
Inside Number 9 knowledge.
General inside Number 9
just general knowledge.
No, inside Number 9.
So specific knowledge about inside, not general knowledge at all. This is an Inside Number 9 round.
Okay, this is the specific knowledge round. In the 12 Days of Christine, what is the name of Christine's childhood best friend who plays a significant role in the episode? Again, the questions are ridiculous questions.
Childhood best friend.
So we've got some choices.
Mm-hmm.
Adam,
Was this?
Mark, Paul, or Jason? I don't know what it means by childhood best friend.
I'm thinking it's the lad with glasses that died at 16 or whatever.
Oh yeah. Is it him?
I'm guessing.
Because I can't think of anyone else.
I don't think
yeah.
Andy knows.
What was his name?
Mark?
That's not the answer they're looking for.
Okay.
They
Is
think
don't
Adam?
know
it's,
if it
Is
is.
they think
Adam
it's
her
Adam.
husband?
Adam's her
Adam's
husband.
her husband, isn't
Adam
he?
is
Yeah.
her husband.
Yeah.
Stephen.
I
Is
don't
there a
understand.
Stephen?
Is there?
No, I don't know. What were the answers again?
Adam, Mark, Paul, and Jason.
I thought it was going to be the take that name.
Yeah.
Members of take that.
Is
Do
there a
some research.
Paul in?
12 Days of Christine. Who was Christine's best friend who died?
Because they didn't meet as children, did they? They met at a
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
party.
her and Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, they met at the
Yeah.
party, didn't they?
At
And he was a
the New Year's Eve
firefighter.
party. Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of the point at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has
So
to be one of
brilliant.
the other three.
Who's
No.
Ernie? Is Ernie her dad?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
This is a stunning start from ChatGPT here. So it's saying Adam, is it?
Oh, Adam's the right answer. Yeah.
Adam's
Yeah.
in a way. It's not really. It's ChatGPT's correct answer, is it?
Yeah. ChatGPT's correct answer.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll look it up later.
So what actually that meant was which of these is a person that's in the episode 12 Days of Christine?
Yeah.
Adam. Great.
Second question. Specific knowledge round. What is the unusual twist about the location in the episode Sardines? A, it's a walk-in freezer. B, it's inside a wardrobe. C, it's on a train. Or D, it's a bomb shelter.
I mean, it's B, isn't it? It's B.
It is.
It
ChatGPT agrees. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Well done, ChatGPT. Brilliant.
And the third question, in the riddle of the Sphinx, what is the ultimate fate of the character Nina?
She
A,
dies.
she solves the crossword and escapes. She is poisoned and left to die. She's trapped in the crypt forever. Or she kills Professor Squires and survives.
Well, it's
Trapped in
B.
the crypt forever.
It's B, but not quite, is it? Because she also gets eaten.
She does, although that's
Only a
that's
bit.
an incidental bit of her fate. The ultimate fate is she's left to die. But you're right, there is some chomping.
There is some bit of chomping. This next one, I think, is completely. You tell me if this bears any resemblance.
To reality.
Yeah. So this is round 2, which is hidden themes and details. So hidden.
It's
they don't
it's about
exist.
communication. They're all about communication.
So what piece of classical music plays a significant role in The Harrowing? Rob, you said The Harrowing is a favourite episode of yours.
Lord of the
It
Dance.
is. Yeah, Lord of the Dance is not.
Is that a piece of classical music?
It's not the piece of classical music though.
No.
Okay.
Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. Tartini's The Devil's Trill Sonata. Bach's Toccata and Fugue. Or Mozart's Requiem.
I think it's Mozart's Requiem.
Is it?
I've got no idea. I just sounded really confident.
You did, yeah. I was convinced.
That was good. Yeah.
That was. It was like you really thought about it as well. And then yeah, definitely Mozart. I would go B, if anything.
Tartini's The Devil's Trill Sonata. You're correct.
Am I? Got no idea why.
I wonder if you're actually correct.
Well,
Yeah.
I went and listened to it earlier, and I don't think you're correct.
I'm
'Cause
ChatGPT correct.
I did not recognize it.
I think I'm as correct as I can possibly be with that question because I don't think there is one. I think the answer is actually E. None of these. It's Lord of the Dance and it's not classical.
It's Reese playing Lord of the Dance on a lute or whatever he's playing. Is it just a guitar?
No, I think it's
think
just a
so.
guitar. Yeah. They talk about his long fingernails for
Yeah.
playing guitar.
Okay. Cold Comfort.
Oh, good.
In Cold Comfort, what clue hidden in the call center audio reveals the shocking twist? A whispered countdown. B, the sound of static cutting in and out. C, a repeated phrase, he's always been watching. Or D, a caller's voice repeating the word help.
Is this designed like to make me go back and watch more of this to try and find it?
See if the
Because they don't
well, I mean, this
exist.
round is hidden themes and details. It's like
So
how
hidden.
hidden are they? Yeah.
How hidden are they? That they were never filmed or included in the episodes. None of those things are a thing.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I'm gonna go with the static.
Oh, is this the game of it's none of them except what do we think
What does
ChatGPT thinks it is?
Well,
GPT?
yeah,
Help.
partly.
He's always watching.
The repeated phrase he's always been watching.
Yes.
That is what ChatGPT thinks is the
Yes.
correct answer.
I'm tuned into the AI engine, clearly. If I was talking nonsense about Inside Number 9, what would I say? Apart from the 101 episodes that have been recorded.
Well, yeah. And the final question in the hidden themes and details round is, how does the episode Zanzibar creatively mirror a Shakespearean play structure? It features iambic pentameter dialogue. The characters perform soliloquies. The story is told in rhyming couplets, or it involves a ghostly apparition.
Well,
A
it's
and
told.
B.
Yeah, I think A and C, is it not? I don't think they're
C is
soliloquies, are
rhyming
they?
couplets.
There's a
Rhyming
couple.
couplets.
There's a couple of soliloquies, aren't there? But the
Yeah.
father.
I mean, the characters do
Yeah.
perform soliloquies. It's not all soliloquies. So
So
I
there's a bit of
think
soliloquies. There's iambic pentameter. There is some
rhyming
rhyming
couplets.
couplets, but no D.
So really, it should be how doesn't it?
Yes, I think that's what. So it doesn't have any ghosts. It has the other three things.
Or
Well,
does it?
it thinks it only has rhyming couplets.
It turns out they were all dead at the end.
Yeah. It's all ghostly apparitions. Now it thinks it's just rhyming couplets, I'm afraid. I think it's got confused. It's included too many things that it does have.
This is a real chastening moment for AI generation of anything.
It has really struggled with Inside Number 9 all the way through. It doesn't, yeah, it's its big nemesis.
Is there just not enough information about Inside Number 9 on the internet for it to sort of
Or it's
scrape and
the Reddit theories have completely messed up the the data bank.
Algorithm, yeah.
Yeah. So now round 3, behind the
Okay.
curtain.
Okay.
The Devil of Christmas
Mhm.
is set in the 1970s. But what element breaks the fourth wall to reveal a modern day perspective? A voiceover commentary from the director, a reflection in a mirror showing modern clothes, an anachronistic prop left in a scene, or D, a cut to a present day news report.
1A.
Yeah, so isn't it?
Yeah,
Does it agree with that?
it agrees with that.
Well done. It's not only is it correct, it's also correct.
It's correct.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Is that the first one that's actually? Oh, the sardines one was.
Sardines was right.
Sardines one was fine as well, yeah.
Okay, this is a challenge. In which episode is a single take used to create the illusion of real-time action? Deadline, A Quiet Night In, The Referee's a Wanker, or The Understudy?
It's got to be Deadline, hasn't it? Although it's not a single shot.
Hmm. No, there isn't a sync. Can't think of an extended single shot in that one.
Mm.
And not in referee.
I mean, there isn't an episode.
No, there isn't.
So now we're trying to work out what ChatGPT might be thinking.
Well, okay. Tell us the answer and then we'll reverse engineer it.
A Quiet Night In.
No, not in any way.
No.
No.
I mean, it all happens in real time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
That's
Yeah, there's
about
no
it.
there's no kind
That
of
is
time
half.
cuts.
No, I don't. No, so I think that's about as close as it
But
gets.
then there's no time cuts in referee. Oh
There
no, there is
in
actually half
referee.
time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This is taking on a bit of a.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. This is a nice, simple one now. What role does the game of darts play in the resolution of the referee's a wanker?
Go
You should
on.
know that without any of the
No, I want to hear the options.
It determines which character will be framed. A perfect throw decides the final twist. It signals the death of a major character, or the game is interrupted, leading to chaos.
I'm gonna go for D, just because we've got to guess one of them, and chaos is as
Wow.
eloquently as I can put it for this question.
Is it what? Darts? Does it hear referee and think darts? That's really weird.
Is there darts in any episode of Inside Number 9?
No.
Not that I can think of.
Darts is not mentioned. It is not seen. It's not even happening in the background anywhere.
We get snooker in Hurry Up and Wait. That's probably the closest we get to darts, isn't it?
Because snooker's a bit like pool, which is played in pubs. Is that kind of it?
The answer. Do you want to know the answer? Or?
I can't think of anything I want to know more.
A perfect throw decides the final twist.
Does it?
Yeah. Whatever that means.
I mean,
Hang on.
you could take it as he's thrown the game.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's.
But that didn't
I don't know how it
twist.
turns into. I don't know how it turns it into a game of darts, but you know, I'm clutching at straws here.
I heard the words game and throw, and that's
But
it.
I mean, it is. Yeah. How has that sort of logically turned something that is nothing to do with that into that? Because you do see that with some kind of generative AI stuff, don't you? Where it's like, I can see why you've drawn that conclusion. That's totally irrelevant, but I'm not seeing it there.
Can't see it here, no.
Not see it there. No. Okay, final round. I don't think we'll do the second quiz because this is ridiculous. Obscure connections. As if
good, as if
we haven't been obscure so far. What is the significance of the bell in seance time? It marks the start of the seance and is a link to the twist ending. It is used as a murder weapon. It signals when a spirit has entered the room, or it represents a recurring theme of death in the series.
What?
C is the obvious answer, isn't it? It's
ghost.
When a spirit has entered the room. ChatGPT thinks it marks the start of the seance and is a link to the twist ending.
I'm trying to think back to the episode. Do they ring the bell as kind of at the very start?
Now I'm thinking of the harrowing.
Yeah.
Is it linked to the twist ending? I don't think it is.
I don't think it's directly linked to the twist ending.
No, because the twist ending is that there was a ghost boy all along, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Fail.
Okay, which episode involves an unconventional interpretation of the Ten Commandments? Is it the trial of Elizabeth Gatch? Love's Great Adventure, The Bill, or Tempting Fate?
Oh,
I'm going to go with. I could probably argue a case for most of them.
oh, go on. I want to hear
Well,
this.
okay, so The Bill, we could kind of get into the thou shalt not steal type. I mean, it's not the 10, but
There's some
at least a
coveting as well
at
going
least,
on.
yeah, at least a commandment for each.
Bit of
Um,
murder. Yeah.
Trial of Elizabeth Gadge was, I guess, just kind of in that whole witchcrafty type era
Thou shalt
where
not be a
people were,
witch.
Worshipping
yeah,
false idols.
Yeah.
and I guess just also people were probably more religious or believed more deeply in that side of things.
I guess there's quite a lot of speak in that one that might lend itself to ChatGPT thinking it's about the Ten Commandments. There's a lot of devil talk.
Yeah.
Mm.
Love's Great Adventure. Again, you could kind of argue that there's a revengey kind of angle going on somewhere. Stealing because the money goes missing.
Yep, that's true.
But yeah, how any of them are directly connected to the a unique take on the Ten Commandments, I don't know.
Go on. Which of them is
Maybe
a modern
invention and
retelling of
interpretation.
Moses on the mountain?
It's the Trial of Elizabeth Gadge.
It's the Trial of Elizabeth Gadge, is
I
it?
think that was going to be the closest, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well done. And in Last Gasp, what is the name of the charity mentioned? And how does it relate to the plot? That feels like a strange quiz question. Like to
Oh,
have a secondary question in a quiz
so
question.
Last Gasp did have a charity.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
I can give you some options.
Oh, go on. Yeah.
Wishmaker UK,
Yes.
I think it was that.
Dreamcatcher Fund. I also need to say, how does it relate to the plot? Wishmaker UK connected to the sale of a balloon. Dreamcatcher Fund tied to a dying child's wish. Hope for the future used as a scam. Breath of Life raising money through auctions.
So what's interesting is that if you didn't really know about the episode, the first one would sound ridiculous. It would sound like it had made it up. It's related to the sale of a balloon. But yes, it's Wishmaker and it's about the sale of a balloon. That's actually correct.
Correct. They've got one right, finally.
Great. It's great when you're having to go through this quiz and decide which ones the quiz has got right, rather than which ones you've got right as a quizzee.
Although I'd argue that the charity isn't related to the sale of a balloon.
No,
They were going to
That's
do that
true.
privately.
No, that is true. In fact, yep, there
no,
is no
they,
link
they
between the
always go
charity and
in
the
and try
sale.
and murder someone and get their last breath so that they can sell a balloon.
I'm sorry,
make
I've just
a,
given
um,
ChatGPT way too much credit there.
Yeah, you're falling into their the trap.
that charity just came in to give a dying girl's mother a chance at meeting her favorite celebrity.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. That was fun, wasn't it? I've just found a Mr. King question.
Okay.
That is one of Rob's favorite episodes. In the second quiz, in Mr. King, what does the mysterious box labeled Mr. King ultimately contain?
Mr. King. Maybe.
It's
Mysterious
what
box.
Is there a box?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's lots of pictures of penises.
Yes.
it's
Is
the
that one of the
box of
options?
penises, isn't it? A human skull, a dead fox, a collection of old school records, or nothing at all.
Oh. Oh no, it definitely contains something.
Yeah, a
Well,
dead fox. Apparently.
Is that the
Interesting.
Yeah,
Dear
that's a euphemism, I think.
ChatGPT, is dead fox a
Is
euphemism for?
it Reese's penis? Or
That sounds like a really bad peanut butter cup knockoff. Reese's penis.
they're pictures of Reese's?
Well, I think they're like all the teachers that they've
Just
kind
all
of
the
dealt
teachers.
with, as that's kind of their bargaining chip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although it might have, in reality, all been Reese.
So many dead foxes. Ah, good. I'm just rushing through to see if there's any other classic questions here. Oh, in the last weekend, what major prop helps uncover the episode's shocking twist? A pair of binoculars, a smartphone recording, a fishing rod, or a weather report?
Go on.
It's a fishing rod.
Is
The
it?
annoying thing is there's no like explanation about
No, that would be really great, wouldn't
why
it?
they've decided.
Can you ask it?
Probably can actually. Yeah.
Can you explain the answer to question 4?
I'll yeah. Oh, there we
This
go.
is where we've all just missed the obvious fishing rod point of the entire show.
Call
I mean,
yourselves
that
a
could be the thing.
podcast.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Just uncovered a whole load of ignorance in ourselves.
That's what it wants you to think.
Is a fishing rod.
Now I'm going back in my mind over Mr. King being like, was there a dead fox in it? Did they spook him with a dead fox? And I've glossed
let
over
it.
it.
No, don't let it do this to you, Rob.
It's a bit like is a dead hare in the grave in The Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's doing. Does it give you an explanation of the fishing rod?
In Inside Number 9, the last weekend, centers around the unraveling of a tense and sinister relationship. The fishing rod is a pivotal prop in the episode because it symbolically and literally ties into the climactic twist. It initially appears to represent a shared hobby, but by the end it becomes a tool of betrayal and violence, highlighting the dark undercurrent of the story. Its role is subtle, yet central to understanding the dynamics between the characters and the shocking resolution. Would you like me to elaborate further or adjust the question?
No, but yes.
It's said so much and yet so little in one paragraph.
You could replace the word fishing rod with anything. Anvil. The anvil is pivotal.
Although we're going to go and watch it back later and be like, oh my
No,
God,
I'm
there's
not.
a fishing rod in the back of it, in the back of the whole thing, just on a wall.
When we get to
And
that episode of the script books, and we go, hang on a minute.
Here we go. I just asked, what does the fish? When does the fishing rod appear? I can't remember seeing it. You're absolutely right to question that. There's no significant use of a fishing rod in the Inside Number 9 episode the last weekend. My earlier mention of it was a mistake. The correct prop tied to the twist in that episode is binoculars. They play a crucial role in revealing the hidden tension and the eventual twist in the plot.
I'm sorry, what?
Thank you for catching that.
I mean, binoculars may be lip service.
Yeah.
The lip service question asks about it's a question where is it? In lip service, what is Christine's profession? And how does it tie into the plot's twist? Christine isn't in.
No.
This.
What are the options for that?
She's a psychic. Her predictions turn out to be false. She's a voice coach. Her voice disguises her true identity. She's a lip reader. Crucial information is revealed through this skill. Or she's a ventriloquist. Her dummy reveals the twist.
So lip reader.
And they got that right. Yeah, she's a lip reader. But she's not Christine. Yeah.
Wow.
So
well, thank you for that. That was
beware. Beware.
This is a long-winded way
the
of
accuracy of information that you get from AI.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why I tend not to use it very much in my work life, because you never know what you're going to get back from it.
When you're using it for information, you're playing with fire a little bit at times. Yeah.
I read someone earlier was writing about the use of AI in classrooms, and particularly with students, and this sort of throwaway thing of, well, students have always found ways of cheating and getting around things, and we just need to work out how to cope with it. But that's not true, and it's never been as endemic and as easy to do as this. And you don't believe that it's always been this easy to cheat. It never has been. And there are a lot of questions to be asked here about people just going, yeah, we need to work with this. No, not from that point of view. We don't. I mean, I've had to get better at using it for certain things and learning how to write prompts and things. And you might be able to potentially get a better quiz out of it by spending ages and ages conversing with it to kind of set the scene of who it is that's writing and the kind of things that it knows. But yeah, to say that we just have to deal with it as a cheating thing is awful, especially when it's this bad at the moment. Because I could ask I could ask a student to write an assignment on Insight number 9.
That would be a good
And
test
I'd
to see
know.
if they're using, yeah.
If their essay is titled "The Importance of the Fishing Rod,"
Yeah.
then we know.
Got ya.
I mean binoculars.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, the documentary has started. I feel like we should probably go and watch it.
Go
Otherwise,
and catch it on iPlayer before we're tarnished
yeah.
as not real fans.
Exactly, exactly. And that gives away the fact that we're not doing this live on Christmas Day.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
It's
But
like the
yeah,
Wizard of Oz, but peeking behind the curtain here.
exactly. Rob, you are doing stuff you're doing a run,
I
the
am.
London Marathon. Is it the
Yes.
London Marathon?
London Marathon in April. Yes.
A run. You described that
A
to the
run.
London Marathon.
You're going jogging for charity.
You're going for a little run, are you, Rob?
Yes, London Marathon in April for a fantastic charity called Get Kids Going, and they basically raise money to help kids with disabilities, ranging from, I guess, what people would think is the most obvious, kids that can't walk, need a wheelchair, helping them get into sport. So, as I say, the most obvious thought that most people think is, yeah, wheelchair for something like wheelchair rugby or wheelchair basketball, but it also goes completely to the other end, and things like autistic kids who just want to get out and running and need a guide runner with them. And it kind of came about because I started running about 18 months ago to lose a bit of weight and just get a bit fitter because I was chasing my kids around the park and finding that I was very out of breath. So I started running and then sort of got really into it. And then I became a guide runner for an 18-year-old who's got something called Fragile X syndrome. So I go out running with him once a week, and he's got a really good support group that take him out running at different points. And his parents couldn't do it because they're not runners, but he needs a grown up with him, because he has some developmental issues. And it just made me think, you know what, if I'm going to raise money, I want to help other kids like him, and I can't go running with them all. I just don't have enough time. So it's a great way to do it. So yes, please keep an eye on my Twitter, because I will be putting out some links to my fundraising page. I need to raise £2,000, which is no small amount of money. So I'll wait until after Christmas, because, well, by the time you all hear this, it will be after Christmas.
It will be Christmas, because
Christmas,
everyone will
yeah.
be listening on Christmas Day.
Absolutely,
because
first thing they do when they wake up.
Yeah.
So I thank all of our fellow Inside Number 9 fans in advance for a couple of quid here and there, rather than buying your Costa coffee one morning. Just chuck it in my Just Giving link. That would be much appreciated. And if you don't,
absolutely.
I'll just take down Ninedle.
That's great threat. Yeah. Very good.
Or sell it to someone for £2,000
Sell it to Reese
for them to shut it down.
Sell it to Spotify. Yeah.
They'll give you a couple of grand for it.
And then ruin it.
Kill it.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, we'll put a link in the show notes as well to that. So
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, people listening to this can click through that. Wonderful. Yeah, that's great. And all the best with that.
Thank you.
Very cool.
The training is not fun.
I don't imagine it is. Yeah, especially this time of year. Yeah, well, it's been great to hang out, Rob. Thank you so much for joining us, and yeah, sharing your love of Inside Number 9 with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Been a dream of mine
pleasure.
ever since I first heard the podcast, obviously.
Oh, there you go. Wishmaker UK.
Wishmaker UK. Hang on a minute. Who's got a dive blowing into a balloon?
Oh, good. And yes, merry special day to everybody listening.
Happy holidays and all of that.
Have a great time. Yes, indeed. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.